I had a lot of fun when I did a themed painting a few weeks ago where I had a theme of transportation and challenged myself to do a few more kind of realistic but still in my style details, then tried and implement my abstract style to bring it all together into one painting that flows nicely. So today I'm doing the same thing. I want to challenge myself to do kind of like an amusement park carnival theme while maintaining my style. So I'm starting with a few planned aspects, which is the Ferris wheel, the little kind of merry-go-round, and a roller coaster. I want to keep them in, like I said, kind of a doodle style design. But then from there, bring in some of my kind of more creative abstract pieces and add some faces to it, add some other things and shapes while maintaining the theme. The other one I didn't really maintain the theme the whole way through. I really liked it, and some of the transportation details were still there and still obvious. But this one I want to challenge myself to maintain it the whole way through. I think that the biggest challenge for this one is going to be not maintaining the theme for the planned out ones like this, but for the more abstract ones where sometimes I see different shapes in the way that the paint dries or different ways that two shapes could combine to make a face or another detail. I think the difficulty is going to be those extra details that also fit. Sometimes I do it where the planned ones are around the theme, but the ones that I see after the fact aren't. So for this one, I want it to be where if I see a face or something, not just making it a face, but making it something that would fit this carnival amusement park theme. Or instead of making a car or something like that, have it like a bumper car or something. So I want all the details, and especially the ones that aren't planned, to still fit that common feel and theme of the painting. So I really enjoy doing abstract ones where I don't plan it at all, but lately I've been enjoying doing the more challenging ones that I find and pushing myself to, in my style still, but create more of that kind of trippy realism within the abstract painting. So this one's going to be a fun one. I enjoy doing ones like this, and it's kind of fun to see what colors go well together as I kind of create the overall mood within the theme of it too. I'm not done all the planned out details yet, but I wanted to fill in some colors just so I can see what I'm working with, so it helps me plan the ones beside them to make sure nothing clashes. I have this dark blue and brown gold color from another painting I was doing, and I really like the way they look together. So I'm having a few of those in areas that I know I'm not putting any other planned stuff, and it kind of helps me see it come together and think about what other colors I want to add, and helps me decide what other aspects I want to add as well. There's something that I know is a purple aspect. I'm going to take that into consideration when I'm looking at the placement if something's already painted in with color. I want to do a lot more of these themed ones, so let me know what ideas you want to see painted and what themes you want. I'm always looking for new ideas that I wouldn't think of myself, so please feel free to comment them, and I would love to be painting some of your ideas soon. So now I want to do a few more planned out aspects of the painting that are towards the theme. And I wanted to do something off this kind of little hamburger carousel. And I thought balloons would look cool and something I could add some different colors. And then this one was not really too planned, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to do like a little trippy fun house. So I kind of have that. I might add some faces in there, just the way the windows went. Then I am attempting to do a abstract kind of doodly clown face. So it's coming together a little bit, but once I add colors, I think it'll pop out more. And I need to think about some other things that I can add to really make that theme more specific. I kind of wish a little bit that I maybe did a larger piece right in the middle, but I do that in a lot of my paintings, so this might be a good way to mix it up. The whole point of trying this is to change up the style of paintings that I do and challenge me a little bit, so we'll see how it turns out, and when I take a step back, I can look and see, can I maybe make a larger aspect around a bunch of them, or blend two of them together to make a shape or a person or something like that. So I'm putting in a few more of those planned out ones before I let the abstract side take over. I'm going over some of the spots that you can see a little bit of the canvas through. I'll probably do some designs and doodles over this, but I like to make sure that I'm covering every spot and going over a few times. Sometimes I like the texture of it not fully covered, but for this one I want most of those spots fully done a few times. So now I'm going through and adding some of these colors throughout it. I wanted to do some color layering on this house area, so I'm gonna probably add a few different colors there and kind of bring it to life. I'm not totally sure what other kind of aspects or details I can do, but I'm using up some colors of the paint right now. Sometimes it's interesting when I mix colors and I get a color I really like and I put it on the painting a lot and I only have a little bit left. Or an interesting thing I noticed as well is we used to live in a more humid space, and when I mixed colors and had them in my little tray, they wouldn't dry for days, and if I went in and mixed it, I could use the same color for a week. But at our new place, it's drying a lot quicker, and some of the colors I'm mixing are even drying in the same session that I'm painting if I don't use it every few minutes. So I'm going through and making sure I'm using some of these mixed and blended colors that I've used a lot throughout the painting, because I don't know, if I mix it, it might not be the same color. So I'm using that, especially the burgundy and kind of brown gold color and blue, because those are mixed. So I'm using those now to make sure that if they do dry up or I run out, at least I have a lot of the amounts that I wanted the painting done and over a few times. I do have that burgundy color that I've used a little bit, but I want to use this purple color for the background. I feel like it adds to the theme nicely of this trippy kind of carnival amusement park. And I like using the purple because I can use some other brighter colors on it. I might do a cool night sky or maybe some fireworks, something like that. And whites and yellows and oranges look really good on it. So I'm using that as a background color, and I haven't used a lot of the burgundy throughout it, so it's kind of a safe color to use, especially here on the road. Beside that, I wanted to do blue, but I didn't want blue too close, so I'm kind of using it as like a little way to break up the space. And I'll be putting in some other designs later, but I'm putting in some of this sky blue. I really like that color, and it kind of adds a nice bright to it, especially with the red that I'm using. I was struggling a little bit to find a color that would look good with this house, especially because I'm adding a few colors within it, but orange looks nice and doesn't clash with the colors beside it, and it goes really well with the dark blue too. I also like that the little tufts of grass don't get lost in the orange. I'm gonna have to go back and draw those over, maybe make a slightly lighter shade of green and do that, because I'm looking at it, and as I'm painting over a few of the areas, some of the grass is completely gone. And I wanted to layer some colors on top of the orange as well. So I'm using that little burgundy that I have left and giving it a little bit of texture. Then I thought the clown would look really good with orange with the purple there. So I'm making sure that I'm using orange throughout the painting enough so it's not just in one section. And I really like how the orange kind of pops with the darker colors. Now that I'm adding a lot more colors to it, I like how it's looking. It's always tough, especially with the planned out ones, when I just put in a few aspects and it looks super plain. I can't envision it, but it's coming together nicely, especially that there's a lot more of the white parts of the canvas filled up. So I'm just gonna continue putting in some colors and think about what other kind of aspects and details I want that'll fit the theme and help bring it together. I really like the brighter colors that I'm using, and I wanted to put a little bit more gray into it. So I had this gray from that little part of the Ferris wheel and the road. So I'm putting that in there, putting a little more texture into that kind of cool fun house. And I'm gonna use it, I think, a few more places, but I really like how it's looking so far. I feel like I'm sticking to the theme nicely. Now the main challenge of this one, like I said at the beginning of the video, is going to be making sure that all my other little abstract details are fitting the theme. I can have some random shapes and little things just to add something in empty space, but I really want to push myself to make sure that when I see a little shape or something in the way the paint dries, like I've said before, it is something related to either amusement park, carnival type thing, and really try to bring that home. I find I've done these before where it's like half of them are that, but then it doesn't really make sense for some of the other stuff. So I'm gonna push it and keep going with those. I have a few ideas just looking at the painting far away, how it looks. But for now, I'm just going in, filling all the colors in, making sure there's some bright ones close to the dark ones. And I'm feeling good about it. I'm going over this little area with the green and making sure you can see it over all the background colors. And I'll be doing a lot of lining as well for some of the areas that are already done for the background colors, so I can see how much the little details or aspects are popping out so far. It is still allergy season, so if I'm a little bit nasally or sound like my throat's a little bit dry, that is why. But anyways, I'm going through, and in this blue area, I kind of wanted to add little waves and ocean stuff, but like I said, I really want to challenge myself to stick to the theme, so I put in these little like bumper boats, like what you'd see at a carnival or amusement park, and I'm gonna go in and add some color after, but I'll probably add some other stuff too, but I thought I just want to get those in to make sure that the theme is still consistent. So now I'm painting the little sailboats a brown color, and then I'm gonna paint the bumper boats red. I didn't want to make them the same color, I wanted to make them different so you can distinguish which one's which. And I'll probably add something else, I'm just not quite sure what else to add because I don't want to make it too cluttered, but we'll see what the space looks like. So with that main Ferris wheel and the carousel that kind of looks like a hamburger and the ice cream, I have a kind of abstract looking face, but I wanted to add another face in that. So I saw that little half circle in the Ferris wheel and I added that balloon shape because I want to make those eyes for another little small face within a face. And I just did those train tracks that go across. That will actually be the mouth for both the little face and the big face. And then I'm making a little train, and I thought the train kind of looks, especially with the steam, like a nose for the small face. So we'll see how that turns out. And for the train, I thought it's kind of like at amusement parks when they have those trains that go around. So I wanted to choose that for the theme. Sometimes I use a piano in the middle of it, but it doesn't fit this theme, so I chose that. And with this popcorn, I am gonna add color there. I was gonna do yellow, but I thought I'd just stick to this brown because I'm using that throughout. And I wanted to do fun little arrows in this street sign kind of looking thing. And I have a few more details to add. I wanted to color this balloon orange, but I have to go back many times because it's pretty see-through. It's kind of a transparent paint. It looks fine when it's just on the canvas, but since it's on blue, it didn't really stick as much, so I probably should have put white before. So now I'm going in and starting with some of this lining. I've done a little bit, but I wanted this clown face especially to pop out. Then the house as well. I wanted to go in and clean up the lines. I still have some things I think I might add to it, but I always like doing some of the lining earlier, just so you can see where those details are. Then I didn't really know if I wanted a color for the train, so I just put the little train cars as black, and then I'm gonna do the front train as brown. So I'm just kind of going through doing a few little small details, doing some orange with the purple. I'm gonna add another color as well and filling it in. Then I'm doing some lights on the Ferris wheel. I think that'll look cool, so I'll probably do 3 or 4 colors in there just so it isn't just this white space, but it gives something to look at. I always like leaving a little bit of white space in it. Like you can see the little teeth on the burger and in the popcorn, leaving a little bit. I think it's kind of cool. So I leave some, but I don't want it to be large spaces with nothing to look at. It's something that if it was a dark canvas, I would have painted white. I wanted to do some more themed aspects. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a ticket booth right at the entrance. So I'm gonna go in and paint colors within it, but I just kind of got the shape started. Then I'm adding some kind of white chocolate chips in this ice cream. I thought it'd be kind of a cool little texture on it. And I'm gonna start painting in this ticket booth. I wanna do a little blue on it to look like a window. And I kind of want it to look a little bit transparent for that, so I'm probably just going to do one coat of it. Then I need something else for this red section, but I'm not quite sure. I wanted to use some more kind of purple burgundy. So with this gray color around the balloons, I'm just adding in some arrows. And it actually looks really good on the gray color. So just going through and doing some of the smaller details and colors and seeing how it's coming together. Sometimes they have like little magic tricks or something at the carnival. So I'm gonna do some cards. So I'm just putting the shapes in and then I'm gonna fill them in white, but I'm getting some kind of cool ideas for aspects I can add now. I wanted to do fireworks, so I'm doing that. I'll probably add in another color, but I wanted to get the shape and sizing down, and the white looks really good on the purple. I like how they're kind of going in different directions, but all from the same spot. I'll probably add some smaller ones too, but I wanted two main ones right by the clown face. By now, I feel like I'm close to being done. I still need to do something in all those blank spaces where there's just one color. I don't know why, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to have a little house on each side of the train track and just kind of bring it together just so it doesn't just stop. And yeah, I still need to do something with the open colors, but I'm going in and doing some more lining, and I wanted to add details to these cards. I thought I don't have a ton of space in there, so I'm just gonna make them all little aces and just do the main one. I don't think I'd have space to do 9 of those symbols in one and do that, so just doing it like that so you can see what they are. And going through adding a few more small details that it's interesting. Sometimes you don't feel like you're doing much, but then you look back after and you realize those little details or little lines really added a lot to the painting or brought together an aspect with another one. So I'm just going and doing that. I'm lining the road just to make sure it's a nice, obvious kind of border. But then I'm gonna go in and line a decent amount of the colors with a black outline. I'm not gonna do all of them because sometimes that looks a little bit forced or awkward, but just going in and doing a few of these extra little kind of details that bring it together. I wanted to do clouds in this blue area. I decided instead of just doing the regular little aspects and doodles that I do, sometimes little lines that if it's a house, just triangles that go, I'll do a few of those, but because it's carnival themed and I wanted to challenge myself to maintain that, I'm gonna do a lot of fireworks in different areas to fill up that space. And that's something I normally wouldn't do, but like I said, the whole reason for this video and this painting is to challenge myself to change that up. So I'm gonna go and do that. But first I'm doing a super abstract, smaller version of that tent. Just needed something to fill the space, and the white looks good on the green and fits naturally in that shape. And It's not as, I didn't plan it to be this abstract, but definitely just got a little bit sloppy with the lines. And that's okay. It's not like a main kind of part of the painting, so I'm happy. And after it's done and filled in, I'm happy with how it looks. I wanted another cool thing for this kind of fun house. I thought it'd just be interesting just to do like a little checkerboard pattern on the roof. I didn't have space to do much else, and I had a lot of different colors and textures within the main part of the house, so I thought a cool black checkerboard would be just an interesting pattern. It doesn't need to draw the eyes as soon as someone sees the painting. Some are meant just to be little secondary patterns within it. And I'm gonna go and paint these little tickets around it white, and then add a little bit more white around the painting over the darker colors. I'm only gonna do the one set of the white fireworks, and then do some other fireworks in different colors. They don't need to all be popping out, and I do like that the white ones pop out more, so those larger ones in the top right of the painting will be the main kind of focus for the fireworks. Thought the Ferris wheel needed a little bit more, so just added that burgundy color around, a little bit more texture. Added a few more lights in the main Ferris wheel. I was gonna add more, but I kind of like the color scheme, so I'm just gonna keep it like that. And then just doing a little random line here. I didn't want to put fireworks in this part. I thought there'd be a little too many. You'll see how many I put after. So I just did a little line going up from where that other one was. So now I'm getting started with a lot of the other fireworks throughout it. I like the shape I'm using. I didn't want to do any ones that were too complex because I do want them to be like a secondary detail that mainly adds a difference of color, a nice contrast, and some texture to it. So I thought the light blue would be good on the red by the Ferris wheel, and just went in and did that. Did a little more lining on this little tent just to add a little bit more detail to it, but I'm not doing any other aspects. I like how it looks. Then I wanted to have each of the little Ferris wheel carts add to something. So just doing a little design there just to bring it together. And doing more fireworks. These are the only ones I did with the marker. I just thought it would look good with the black, and I needed a little bit more control over it, so the marker was good, because even my smallest brushes are a little bit tough to do in this small space, and I didn't want to take away from some of the other kind of details there. Then doing some small white fireworks by here. Didn't need to do too many, just a few to fill the space. So now all I have to do is finish this last little outline and gonna be signing it. So this one was fun. I like how it looks, and I like that I challenge myself to stick to it and stick to the theme. So let me know what you think, what kind of things you want to see in the next ones, and if you like the way this one turned out. So thank you for watching, and I'm gonna turn this into a time lapse as well. And I'll probably try doing this same theme, but more abstract, and kind of reverse my strategy, and instead of doing aspects first, do a lot more colors and shapes first.